2 Samuel continues the story of David from his rise as king to his reign over united Israel. It spans about 40 years and shows both the greatness and the weakness of God's chosen man. So the book divides into three main sections. Chapters 1 through 10, you see David's triumphs. In chapters 11 through 20, you see David's troubles. In chapters 21 through 24, you see David's testimony. So it begins with the death of Saul and David's lament. 2 Samuel 1 verse 19 says, "The beauty of Israel is slain upon thy high places. How are the mighty fallen?" So David becomes the king of Judah first, then of all Israel. He captures Jerusalem. He makes it his capital, bringing the Ark of the Covenant there to Jerusalem. And God makes an everlasting covenant there with David. So the key promise of the entire book, 2 Samuel 7 verse 16 says, "And thine house and thy kingdom shall be established forever before thee. Thy throne shall be established forever." So this is God's covenant with David, fulfilled in Jesus Christ, the Son of David, whose kingdom will never end. So David's early reign is marked by victory. He defeats the Philistines, Moabites, Syrians, and others. But in chapter 11, his greatest failure comes. He sins with Bathsheba and the murder of her husband Uriah. 2 Samuel 12 verse 9 says, "Wherefore hast thou despised the commandment of the Lord to do evil in his sight?" So though David repents and is forgiven, his sin brings lifelong consequences: family rebellion, public shame, and national instability. Absalom, his own son, rises against him. David flees Jerusalem weeping, crying. And though rebellion fails, the sword never departs from his house. Yet even in chastisement, David's faith remains. So in the final chapters, David restores order, signs a psalm of deliverance, and builds an altar on Mount Moriah, the future site of the temple. 2 Samuel shows the reality of God's grace and justice. David was not perfect, but he was a man after God's heart because he always returned to him. The book points to the greater king, Jesus Christ, who would rule in perfect righteousness and mercy forever.